Hello, Eisenhower artists. We're going to draw this cityscape using mostly a marker. All right, so what kind of marker do you have at home? It could be this Sharpie marker, it could be one of these Crayola markers. If you don't have a marker, you could also use a black pen, but a marker would be better to get thicker lines. So make sure you've got plain white paper. Now remember, if you don't have any plain white paper right now, go ahead and use your notebook paper, the kind with lines on it. That is okay also. We're going to start with a guideline in the middle of the page. So I want you to fold the page this way so it's tall and long. Fold it like this with just a gentle fold. Don't smash it down. Okay? And the artwork today is going to be horizontal. We're not drawing vertical like this. The page is going to be horizontal. Your art is going to look something like this. In the intro video, you learned about creating space in your artwork by overlapping these shapes. See how this purple skyscraper looks like it's in front of the blue and green skyscraper, and this one here is also in front of the green skyscraper. That's because we overlapped the shapes. You're going to learn how, by drawing these lines that are diagonal and slanted right here, and the rest of the lines are straight, that makes it look 3D. All right, so you've got your page horizontal like this. This fold line is a guideline, and we're going to start by drawing 3 arrows. 3 arrows. Those are going to change into the 3D building skyscrapers. So put a dot right about here. Put your 2 fingers to help you measure. Jump over to about here. 2 fingers. Jump over again. Make sure these 3 dots are spread out. Then you're going to put angled lines like this so it looks like an arrow with a straight line in the middle. Okay? So a slant, diagonal, diagonal, don't make it small, and a straight line. Remember in the intro video we looked at Mars Jr.'s artwork, and I told you that he doesn't use a ruler when he does his drawings. You don't need a ruler, don't worry if they're not exactly straight. Okay? Make sure these arrow shapes, that these diagonal lines are long enough. Don't draw too short. Okay, so from these diagonal lines, you're going to continue making straight lines at the end of those diagonal lines. Just go slow. All right, and that's all we're going to do with our pencil. Put your pencil away, get out your marker, and you're going to trace these lines. So remember how we started it with a diagonal at the top. Diagonal, diagonal. That line in the middle, so it looked like an arrow. Now the one thing that's going to make your artwork have good craftsmanship and not look so sloppy is if where you meet, these 2 lines meet, make sure they're actually touching each other. Don't leave space like that. Don't leave a gap. Or don't go too far over the points, like that. Pretend that didn't happen. I'm going to make another slanted line to help it look better. All right, don't leave gaps and don't go over the edges. Make all the points meet. Okay, so from the ends of the diagonal lines, we made these straight lines going all the way down to the bottom of the page. Okay, we're not going to use our pencil anymore. We're going to get comfortable drawing these shapes with the black marker. Now we have these 3 short buildings. We're going to draw some taller ones. So I want you to touch the top of this building here. Start going up a little bit and over and make a dot. Make a little dot. These are going to be guidelines. From the top of this building, go up make a really tall one. Go over a little bit, make a little dot, and then here on the third one, you're going to go down and make a shorter building. So put a dot down there. Okay, from these dots, we're going to make the slanted lines again. So this time, make one really long slant. That can go right off the page. Slanted or diagonal. Okay, so from that dot, we're going to do another diagonal, diagonal. One can be really long. And then we have a short building that we're doing here. It can touch the side buildings also. Okay, those are the slanted lines, diagonal lines. Now we're going to make the straight lines going down, all the way down. Oh, that's touching my building next to it. That's okay. How about this one? This one goes all the way down. And then the little one, put the straight line going down. Okay, then go back to these diagonal lines. I'm going to make this one a little bit longer. So when it goes down, it's going to touch the building there. I'll make that one a little bit longer so it goes down and touches that building. This one, straight line down. And then we had the short one. Okay, over here where this line wasn't so straight, I'm just going to fill it in with a little bit of black. Okay, remember sometimes there's mistakes in art. Don't worry, you can cover it up, change it to something new, fix it a little bit. Okay, do these look 3D yet? We've got them overlapping. These slanted lines made it look 3D, the edges of the building. Next, we're going to look at the windows. Okay, check out the windows. I want you to notice there are different sizes. Some are big windows with no small squares. Some have more than one square, a series of squares. Some are longer rectangle shapes. And then I want you to fill in some with black. Leave some white, leave some black. But before we do the buildings, let's put in some of these spaces right here in the skyscrapers. Sometimes they have spaces dividing the parts of the building. It's not really a window, but it's just a part of the building that looks like big thick spaces, different parts of the building. So let's put a couple of those in there to break up the building. So we have to make all of our window shapes and all these other parts of the buildings the same diagonal line as the top of the building. The top of the building is very important. You're going to keep looking at the top of the building. With this line here, I'm going to turn it so I've got this diagonal line. And I don't have very much space here on this side. I'm going to make that windows. So let's go to this diagonal line. It's going to be the same diagonal down here. I'm going to put the little space in the building. It's not really the windows, but just some details in the building right there. See how it matches this diagonal? Goes like this. You got to match that angle. So then on this side, it would go down like this. Okay, it has to match the angle at the top of the building. The top of the building is so important. All right, so let's just put another detail on one of these small ones. The top of the building goes like this angle. So I'm going to put a line. See how it's the same? The same diagonal. It's not horizontal like this, it's slanted. It matches this angle. I'm going to fill it in with black. Okay, and then this side of the building, it has to be the same as the top angle. Okay, so I'm putting some details on the building, not the windows yet. Just a couple of these details, the different parts of the building. Is it starting to look 3D? How about right here? The top of the building, this angle gets repeated down the side. You have to make it match. I'm going to make a dark line and then a thin line. A thick line, and then a thin line. Okay, now let's do some windows. The windows have to be the same angle as the top of the building. Right. So for this one here, it has to be this angle like the top of the building, the top of the window, the bottom of the window, and then make the straight lines. And then I'm going to break it up and put multiple windows on that one. Just about like that. Okay? Top of the building, top of the building. So it's going to go down this side, top of the window, bottom of the window, straight line. Break it up into however many rectangle shapes, square shapes that you like. Okay, down here I'm going to do another one. What does the top of the building look like? That angle has to go all the way down. So here I'm going to put the top of the window, the bottom of the window, straight line. This time I'll make more windows in this section. Top of the building, look at the top. What is that angle? It goes like that. Top of the window, bottom of the window. Straight line, straight line. And I'll make this some little windows here. Okay, same with this side. Top of the building. What does that line look like? It has to match. Top of the window, bottom of the window, straight line to make the edge, and then decide how many windows are going to go in that shape. Top of the building, match that line. See, it has to be the same angle. And the edges of the windows go straight up and down. I'm going to leave these some big rectangle windows. Okay, what other things can you put on your building? Some things that you might like to put on the building, like here there's a tower on the top of the building. That looks really cool. What if we put a tower over here? The tower goes like that to that part of the building. And then there's like a circle shape and then another shape like that. It could have a part that goes like that to make the tower. Some buildings have domes on the top. Ooh, what if this skyscraper had a dome like that? That could be really cool. Okay, you could put things on the top of your building if you like. You could put a flag on the top or just leave the tops blank. Let's see what Mars did on his drawings for some buildings. Oh yeah, he had some really tall towers, tall antennas, radio towers at the tops of the buildings. There's a flag there. Look at this building, has like some curvy shapes that start out big and then go smaller and smaller. Let's look at the windows. Ooh, look at these windows. Some of them are rectangles with curves on the top. That would be kind of nice. Windows, lots of different sizes and shapes. See how these are long, but then these are little squares. Okay, you decide what kind of windows you like. Make some of the windows black and keep some white. Okay, remember I said always look at the top of the buildings to see how to draw the windows. So this angle right here, I'm going to draw some small windows. So I got to match that angle and then straight. Okay, I'm going to turn my paper, match this line. To draw some little window, you draw the top of the window, the bottom of the window, side, 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 side. Top, top, bottom, bottom. Make it straight, side, 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 side. And here's where it's important to make sure your lines are touching. Don't leave gaps when you're drawing these squares. Make your lines neat and make sure every line touches another line. Okay, how do your windows look? Now remember, like Mars's drawings, your lines don't have to be exactly straight, but you do need to pay attention that you're connecting all your lines together where they meet in the corners. Make sure that you fill in some of these spaces black for the windows. Leave some windows white. And just go back and look at your lines. Make sure every line is touching. Like, look at this one. I went too far over right there, so I'm going to fix it, making that thicker. Keep your lines neat and tidy. That's part of your grade. That's craftsmanship. All right, next we're going to talk about the sky in this style of drawing. We're going to draw a small circle first and then bigger circles around it until it goes off the page, and then it's going to continue going across the sky behind the buildings. That's also another way we're going to create space in this drawing. All right, so decide what side you want your sun to be on. I think it might be good if you choose the area that has the most space left over in the sky. So I'm going to put a small circle here. Remember, you're not using your pencil. Just get used to drawing with the marker. A small circle, then leave space. Don't go too close to this one. Leave some space and draw a bigger circle shape around it. And then leave some space again. It's going to go off the page already. A bigger circle shape around it. Okay, leave space. This one's going to start right here, and look what happens. As soon as you touch a building, hop over it. Keep going. I like turning the page to help me get this nice curve. Keep going. Curving around to that side of the page. Decide how many circle shapes you want to go in the sky here. Look at this one. I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rings around, 7 curves around that first little circle. Let's just see how many I'm going to do here. Start another ring, so leave a space. Curve. As soon as you touch that building, you stop. Pretend that line continues, and where would it show up again? Right about here. Curve. I touch the building, stop, hop over it. It would come out around here and go off the page. I'm going to do one more curve, one more ring around this area. So I'll make a curve there, stop, pretend it's going around. It would pop out like right here, stop, hop over, and it would show up right about there. For the color with this drawing, you're going to think about the color wheel in 2 parts, the warm colors and the cool colors. We're going to put warm colors in the sky and cool colors in the skyscrapers, but you could also flip it and put cool color up here in the sky, and then that means you need to make your buildings and the skyscrapers the warm color. So you decide how you want to do that. I'm going to do it this way, warm up here in the sky, cool on the buildings. You will also practice drawing dark shades and light shades. This will also help it look more 3D. So the left side of all these buildings are going to be dark. The right side is going to be a lighter color. Dark blue, light blue, dark purple, light purple, dark green, light green. Just like all your lessons at home, you can use any combination of markers, colored pencils, and crayons. All right, since we're doing cool colors for the building, I'm going to start with a purple. I'm going to use a purple colored pencil. Left side is dark. All of these on the left. This is the left side of your page. All of these on the left are going to be the dark side. So I'm going to start here, pressing down hard. This side of the building is going to be dark. Okay, remember my tip when you're adding color? You're doing it like in patches. Do one patch, one area and then move to the next. Don't try and color big areas like this. So do this patch, then move on. Do this patch, little patches at a time, move on. You're going to go around the windows, right off the page. This is the dark side, so I'm pressing hard. Go right off the page. Okay, now this side is going to be the light side. This helps it look 3D, a dark side and a light side. So here I'm going to press gently, not press so hard, to fill in that color. So with this project using dark and light, a marker doesn't really work because a marker has one value, one shade. You can't press hard or press harder or lighter with a marker. It's all one shade. So you're going to need to use colored pencil or crayon. All right, can you see the difference? The dark side, the light side. Look at this awesome green color already. Green is actually my favorite color. Okay, so press hard. Careful coloring. Try and go in one direction most you can, and then fill in the edges. This side is the light side, so with my crayon, check out the difference. I'm barely floating over the page and getting a light green color. Check it out. How's it looking? Is it 3D yet? Okay, so I'm going to continue to fill in the buildings with the cool colors. Blue, green, purple. Dark on the left every time. Left, left, left. Light on the right. Take your time doing this color. Your art project should take you close to an hour to do, okay? So if you run out of time, you got to get back to your homeroom class. Put this aside, put it in a folder, keep it ready for later on when you can get back to it and continue adding color, okay? Don't rush through your projects. You have a week to do your art project, okay? If you go to art class on Mondays, then you have a whole week until the next Monday to turn in your art. All right, so I want you to take your time doing this color, making sure your craftsmanship looks very, very good. Okay, friends, I finished with the light side and the dark side on these buildings. Now remember, take your time. You might need to come back to this tomorrow and continue adding color. Be very careful with your color. No sloppy lines. Fill in all the spaces. Now we're going to do the last step, is this color in the sky. So we have cool colors here. The sky is going to be warm colors. I'm going to use a marker in the sky. The marker fills in the spaces just a little bit quicker than colored pencil or crayon. And since we're not doing lights and darks in the sky, it's the same shade of red everywhere, the same shade of yellow everywhere. That's another reason why I'm going to choose marker for the color in the sky. So I'm going to start out with yellow. You can start out with any color you want from the center. Then I'm going to skip a space and then put yellow in this space. And then I'll put orange in this next space. I'm going to start some orange there. I think I'm going to put red here, and then I'll put orange here. Now we have a little bit of sky left. Look at this space here and right here, so that we need to fill that in also with a warm color. I'm going to get a crayon to fill that in. I'm going to get an orange crayon and fill in just these other spots that are left over in the sky with a warm color. Okay, friends, we did it. We have the cool colors for the buildings, the warm colors up here in the sky. You'll be graded on showing me the dark side of the building and the light side. Dark side, light side. I'll be checking to see your windows Do they look 3D? By following that angle, the top of the building. All these little windows had to go in that same direction to make the window shapes. Did you fill some windows in with black, leave some white? And did you make circles in the sky, covering most of the sky with this shape for the sun in the sky, filling up all your spaces, even the leftover sky? All right, I'm so excited to see what your cityscape looks like. Make sure if you have any questions, send me an email. See you next time.